So welcome to Grumpy Vegan Grandad, Dan here. So this video is about the blood farms in Iceland. There has been some news on certain sites and social medias and newspapers over the last 5 or 6 years. But this is the first I heard about it. Now, if it's the first I've heard about it, I'm assuming that some of you might not have heard about this, and it's a very interesting subject because it shows how widespread animal abuse is in regards to farming, but it's the sub industries that are supplying mainstream animal agriculture. And this is especially disturbing. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the first part of the video, which shows how it's done nicely, if we can say that. And then the second part of the video is the reality. And then while you're watching this, I want you to see if you can work out what this product is used for, because that's the sicker part of all this. So yeah, trigger warning, it does show animal abuse. It doesn't show slaughter. There's no blood and guts in this. It does show animals getting hit and punched and stuff like that. So but yeah, see if you can work out what this shit is all about.
The scene appears idyllic. Dozens of Icelandic horses graze peacefully in the countryside. But what happens next is sparking controversy. This pregnant mare is having a cannula inserted in her neck and blood is drawn, several litres a week, at a so-called blood farm in Selfoss in the south of Iceland. In 2021, the number of blood farms has tripled to 199, with nearly 5,400 mares solely bred for donating blood. While there's no outright ban, investigations so far have led to stricter regulations since August. And shutting down the entire industry has not been ruled out.
We arranged to meet Rekvidor Hermansson. He's the only informant who dares to go on camera. Around 100 euros for a foal and 430 euros for the blood of its mother. For blood farmers, foals are now just a byproduct of the lucrative blood business. We recall the image film. Its statements: competent personnel, horses handed calmly. What we will see is chaos, confusion and horses being hit. Crammed together, nervous, scared. The mares know what's coming. The foals stand between them. A worker beats the horse with a long whip. We show the footage to Professor Stefanie Kremer from Justus Liebig University in Gießen. This poses a huge risk of injury for the foals. The adult horses can stand against it with their bodies and defend themselves.
Hier sieht man auch Szenen, wo die Stuten.
Here you can see scenes of mares rearing up against each other with the foals caught in between. They can't escape. They don't have the physical strength to stand up to them and can be squashed and injured. Same situation at Blood Farm 38. Horses being hit. For sure, this amounts to repeated traumatization. It is easy to recognize because we can see a very hefty defense response. The mare stands still. They try to escape backwards and refuse to go into the blood extraction box. Instead of calm handling, we see loud talking, laughter, and frightened horses being treated roughly. The image film shows them being stroked. A mare doesn't want to go into the box, despite the blows and shouts. She is scared, but prefers the rod to being restrained and bled. The blows get harder. A foal panics and jumps over the barrier to her mother, gets caught and kicks. A worker comes and hits her several times on the head with his hand and whip to keep her out. A worker calls Jimmy the dog to chase away the foals and horses. That is forbidden.
Wenn die Hunde
When the dogs act aggressively, when they bark, when they bite a horse's tail or legs,
an den Beinen der Pferde verbeißen,
this aggravates the flight reaction and defense response. The horse, of course, tries to escape a threat, and the dog is definitely perceived as a threat.
auch als drohende Gefahr wahrgenommen.
This causes a mare to panic in the restraint box. She tears the cannula out. The vet puts it back in. He should forbid the use of dogs to chase horses. The blood extraction procedure is a succession of stressful episodes. The restraint box is unsuitable. The mare strikes a beam with her head multiple times. The head is fixed in an unnatural position. The puncture site for the cannula is anesthetized. The mare recoils. The cannula is inserted. Its diameter half a centimeter. Her defensive reaction is fierce despite anesthetic. The cannula is removed after 3 to 5 minutes, sometimes by the vet, sometimes by workers. The insertion point is not checked by the vet.
Hier auf diesem Bild sieht man
In this video, you can see the injection equipment being prepared for the next horse. It's clear that the cannula is not changed. It's just rinsed, and if there are any pathogens, then the infection risk is of course very high for the animals.
So, did you guess? Here's what it's for.
They're sold by companies like Siva, Hipra and MSD Intervet. They contain the hormone PMSG. Breeders are promised more money, more pregnant animals, more offspring, less work. The hormone is obtained from the blood of pregnant mares.
Pregnant mare serum gonadotrophin. Pregnant mare serum gonadotrophin, PMSG. What is it used for? It's for making farm animals pregnant. It's IVF treatment. It's treatment that makes animals produce more of a litter, primarily used for pigs. Germany is one of the biggest users of it. So these animals go through all this for a product that is taken to a laboratory and made into a drug to increase the productivity of animals, to increase their production of young, to help them get pregnant more often, to make more profit. So these blood farms in Iceland, and I'll link the full video below, so take a look at the full video. It's the whole industry is to create more profit for animal farmers. But not only that, it's very profitable for the Icelandic people, the Icelandic farmers who are doing this. But foals are a byproduct. They don't want the foals. But the foals are sold on to slaughterhouses for meat. But the price has dropped that much because there's that many farmers doing this for the blood. Because the blood industry, this PMSG, is more profitable for the farmers. So now they're doing it for the blood rather than for the meat industry. So the foals are a byproduct, a cheaply bought byproduct. It's very disturbing. The fertility hormone PMSG is predominantly used in industrial animal breeding to increase the reproductive performance of farmed animals, in particular sows, but also cattle, sheep and goats, through synchronizing cycles and increasing the number of offspring produced per year. The use of PMSG in intensive pig farming is very common all over the world. By using PMSG, the sows come into heat earlier after weaning the piglets and can be inseminated earlier than under natural conditions. In the marketing brochure for the product FertiPig, the pharmaceutical company Siva Santi Animale recommends treating all sows at the day of weaning in a preventative way. There are approximately 1.6 million breeding sows in Germany. Since 2.1 million doses of PMSG are administered per year, it is clear that PMSG is not only used to treat individual animals in case of anoestrus, but is rather used systematically in piglet production. Of course it is. Of course it's going to be used in piglet production. Of course they see this little loophole here where they can get more profit. Of course they're going to use it. Siva's marketing brochure defines the goals of PMSG use as follows: higher insemination rate, higher number of piglets, less non-productive days, better concentration of work, and an increased economic efficiency. It's all about that, innit? It's all about that. And not only is this going on just in Iceland, this is going on all over the world. This is another statement I found. On blood farms, horses are being bled and abused for a hormone used in European livestock farming. A new investigation by European NGOs condemns the mistreatment of pregnant mares in Argentina and Uruguay. Their blood is being drawn to extract a fertility hormone. So it's happening in Uruguay, Argentina. I think they're doing it in Canada as well. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing it everywhere where there's horses. It's profit. It's money. People are going to do it, aren't they? It's money, you know. People are going to do it. This is from the National Pig Association. After the video was leaked. The UK pig industry prides itself on high standards that underpin our pig production. As we have previously stated, we are aware that a small number of products containing PMSG are authorised for use for pigs in the UK for the induction and synchronisation of estrus. You know? So it's happening in the UK, even though they don't want to sort of like shout about it. They're saying we're not using it. In your article, you say pork products sold in the UK come from pigs that have been given the hormone PMSG. This is not the case. It is important to stress that as an estrus synchronization product for breeding pigs, it would not normally be used in pigs destined for meat. Although breeding animals to enter the food chain, every prescribed veterinarian medicine has defined withdrawal periods before which animals can be sent for slaughter to ensure no residues enter the food chain, and this is monitored by the government. Yeah, right. Yeah, we're supposed to believe that. And that's from the National Pig Association. So it is in the UK. It's happening in the UK. Of course it is. And furthermore to that, PMSG powder and solvent, 5,000 IU, £34. Please note, a prescription issued by a UK registered vet is required before this item can be dispatched. Vets. Animal vets. Straight away. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah. Yeah, it's all about the money. So, this has been going on for a long time. 30, 40 years. You know, it's not something that's completely new. But it doesn't change the shock factor, does it? It doesn't change the fact that we're abusing semi-wild horses to take blood off them. I mean, they're only supposed to like take 10% off them, but some are taking like 15%, leaving these animals in a real state of ill health. You know, the European Parliament has tried outlawing it. They said it should be outlawed. They should stop imports and all this, but it's not stopping. It's not stopping. There's too much money involved. There's too many backhanders going on. Too many bungs going on behind the scenes. But there is a petition we can all sign. Whether it'll do anything, I don't know. At the moment, it's got 124,216 supporters. 130,000 is the goal. A previous version of this petition failed to give credit to German NGO Animal Welfare Foundation, which carried out the investigations of blood collection in Iceland and brought to light the cruelty of industry. The below petition has been amended to correct this. But, yeah, I don't know. I haven't read it properly. So, yeah, they're calling for a ban. They're calling for a ban. I was just checking then to see if it was saying they want better conditions, because we're not a welfare movement people, are we? We're an abolition movement. But this is the thing. This is the thing about the animal agricultural industry. So many industries feed off it. And there's so many industries feeding into it. And that's the sad thing about all this, is that it lines so many people's pockets. And it's this what's going to make it hard. It already makes it hard for us to get action against this, because there's so much money involved, so much money. So these horses are being abused. You've got bulls being abused for the semen. You've got blood. You've got sperm banks in the UK that are like Fort Knox. They're like gold bullion banks, just impenetrable, because this white gold is worth tens of thousands. You know? And then you've got all these industries that feed off the animal agricultural industry, that use the products, you know, because they're cheap and in plentiful supply. Like your bones, like all your bones and your food colourings and your fats and your greases and your makeup and... But this is shameful. This is shameful. And it wouldn't have been exposed had it not been for these people going out there and hiding cameras. And this is why it's so important that we've got activists going out there actively exposing with cameras this kind of behaviour. Because you need to see it to believe it. You need to see it to believe that this is going on. So yeah, please feel free to watch the video, watch the full length video. It doesn't make for a good watch at all, but it's really interesting. And please sign the petition. Let's try and, I mean, it's the least we can do for the horses. So, save the animals, save the planet, save yourself, people. Go vegan.